Hello again. Today I want to finally release the latest firmware for the TLSR microcontroller, which is now a universal and also multifunctional firmware to drive e-paper displays, not only allowing it to be used via the OpenEpaperLink protocol, so a ZigBee without the stack, basically radio layer, but at the same time it allows to also use them via Bluetooth Low Energy and update the firmware and images to them. In the past, a few years ago already, you have seen the very first version, which was like RTC TLSR paper, which was running on this type of display. It allowed it to be used as a clock with quick refreshes, and it would last quite a while, but was overall very crude and not polished and so on. Later, the OpenEpaperLink protocol was invented, and the project is now quite big, but it's by now multiple displays available and chips, microcontroller and displays available that not only can do ZigBee, but they can also do like Bluetooth Low Energy, and why not use it as well if it's available? And even better, in this new firmware, it can be used at the same time. So the microcontroller will switch between the radio for Bluetooth Low Energy and for the radio for OpenEpaperLink. So I want to share this with you today, and you can get the firmware down in the description. It is not fully released until today, so the source code is not released, but you can use the firmware as is. And not only is it compatible with these displays, but even more. Right now it's compatible with about 15 different displays, and in the future it will only get more. This does mean you can for once still use these displays via the OpenEpaperLink Access Point and over ZigBee, of course, but you can also use like this simple web Bluetooth uploader to get images onto it, or you can use like an BLE only OpenEpaperLink Access Point to directly upload images without the need to get some extra hardware. But it is worth to mention that this access point is really not running stable right now, since the ESP32 then needs to do the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth Low Energy at the same time, and somewhere is the big bug which crashes it every 5 minutes or so if both is enabled. This will hopefully change in the future. To flash the firmware onto them, you can just use the classic USB to UART variant that I showed in a few earlier videos as well. So basically you just connect ground, you connect TXT to the SWS pin, and the RTS or DTR pin to the reset pin. And if no battery is connected, you of course also need to connect the 3.3 volt power rail. And then you can use the UART flasher. It's also like a basic web tool. But enough of this explanation and big words around it. Let's now show it. Let's use this 3.5 inch one as an example. It's connected to the UART interface for logging and to a power profiler to see what the current consumption says. So you can see here that the spike happening every around 40 seconds is the OpenEpaperLink request. So the display asks the access point if there's any data for it. And these lower spikes are the Bluetooth Low Energy just advertising its data and waiting for a connection from a Bluetooth device. Also you have here the logging, and you can see basically like that, it just wakes up every 40 seconds and switches between Bluetooth and OpenEpaperLink. Then we can use this simple web interface to connect to it. I did connect already to it, otherwise you would connect basically on this connect button. A window pops up with all the available Bluetooth devices, and you can also see already that the current consumption changes as a connection is now happening. And you can see that it found the right characteristic, which is the wanted one. Otherwise, a very simple check is we can here use this command 1 and with the value 3 to turn on or turn off the LED. You can see it's now lighting blue. And yeah, the more important part, of course, is to upload an image. You can either select one from your hard drive, which will then be dithered and can be uploaded, or you can just enter some basic text. And yeah, basically you can just hit upload. And since this image, exactly this one, was uploaded already, this got uploaded very fast as it was just checking if it's already available. And it will then refresh to this image, like so. But if we, for example, just do a full red and black one, we can also upload it. To see it a bit better, what is really happening. First, the upload is a bit slow, but it gets faster. And after it's done, it will also refresh to this new image. And let's use this time to talk a bit more about the stuff. After the first flashing of this display, it will only act as a config mode display basically, because it has no way to detect what display is connected to it. So you need to connect once to it via Bluetooth Low Energy, and then you can select the wanted or the real display on your microcontroller and select the right one and then set the display type. It will then write it in Flash, and on next boot it will know what display it is. And even after then doing a firmware update, it will not forget about it, basically. So you have to do it once, and then you can use it even after a firmware update the same way. And to also show OpenEpaperLink working, we can just use this display and basically force a refresh, but we need to disconnect from Bluetooth Low Energy, otherwise it will not try to connect to the OpenEpaperLink Access Point. But we now should be able to see it lighting up, and it will of course also refresh to the new image. And while this was now a lot of words and a lot of rambling around and showing it just a bit, I am very happy that it worked so well, and this is the perfect basis now to adapt more and more displays to it, because this all is just one firmware running on all of them. So you have not like a firmware for each device, but it's an universal one. And also it's possible, just to mention that as well, to disable the OpenEpaperLink part via Bluetooth Low Energy, or it is the other way around possible to disable the Bluetooth Low Energy part via OpenEpaperLink to even save a bit more power or to not annoy the radio too much with the data, vice versa, if you do not have a full OpenEpaperLink access point, for example, and so on. And yeah, happy to show it and happy about any feedback you can give. Another sneak preview I want to show is this flashing construct. It's basically like a pogo pin flasher, and it contains of an ESP32S3, which you then basically like only press onto the display with the correct fitting, of course, and press the button to flash it without any need to having any UART converter or web flasher and so on. It's basically all in one. Hope you like it, and see you next time.